Three, two.
Good day everyone, we are from House of Samson and in this video, we will be discussing the basic definitions with regards to evaluating function, the do's and don'ts in solving them, and we will also provide some tips and techniques you can use for you to have an easy way of solving. We will also give you some examples about it. So now, let's begin with the basic keywords regarding evaluating function. The first one is variable. Variable is a symbol for a number we don't know yet. It is usually letters like x and y. The second one is coefficient. Coefficient is a number used to multiply a variable. For example, we have 7x. It means 7 times x and our coefficient here is the number 7. Take note, variables on their own without numbers next to them actually have a coefficient of 1. Meanwhile, operator is a symbol such as plus or multiplication sign that shows that something in the operation has something to do with the values. On the other hand, expression is a group of terms that is separated by plus or multiplication sign. The last one is the exponent. Exponents such as the number 2 in x2 means or says how many times the value in a multiplication. Exponents makes it easier to use and write many multiplications. Now we can finally say things like that expression has only 2 terms, or the second term is a constant, or even are you sure that the coefficient is 4?
In this video, we're going to talk about the do's and the don'ts in evaluating functions. Do's. Always put the constant term at the end. We always try to separate the unknown variable when solving an equation. Before dividing or multiplying away the coefficient in front of the variable, it is always a good idea to first isolate the terms including the variable from the constants. Like we did before subtracting or adding. You can do whatever you want in whatever order you want as long as you do the identical thing on both sides of the equal sign. And this is the don't. Do not multiply f of x. F of x does not mean that you will need to multiply f by x. Instead, you just have to substitute it.
These are some techniques that I can tell you about functions and how it can make your life easier when it comes to solving them. Now, the first technique that I can give is to always mind your parentheses. Now, I have always noticed that some do not mind their parentheses and what comes up is wrong answer always. So, an example that I can give is negative 3x squared and negative 3x squared with parentheses have two different answers. Now, the one with a parenthesis comes up as a negative number, which is negative 9. Now, the reason why it comes up this way is because the negative is outside the parentheses. So, after you multiply the exponent, the negative will just be added on the final answer. Well, the negative 3x squared without the parentheses will just be multiplied normally with the exponent. So it looks like negative 3x times negative 3x. As we all know, a negative plus negative will come up as positive. So it will turn out as positive 9. Another tip or technique that I can give out when it comes to functions is when it comes to canceling factors. Now, canceling factors can be annoying at times because it is very confusing. Now, the one thing that I can tell about canceling factors is to always mind that it is the same as much as possible. So, when there are two variants or two variables that are the same, like for example, in a numerator, there is x minus 1 in a parenthesis, and at the bottom, there is also an x minus 1 with a parenthesis. When it comes to that, just cancel it out. That is what it means when it comes to canceling factors, and you can move on to the next step. Now, the last and final technique that I can give is the FOIL method. Now, I know that this technique has been taught so many times before in previous grades, but I think that some students have forgotten about this, and that is why they often disregard it when answering functions. So this is some form of refreshment for their minds. So to put it simply, FOIL method is, in simpler terms, first F, O outside, I inside, and then L last. So that is the format. So to give an example, imagine x plus y, and then there is a parenthesis and then squared, x plus y parenthesis squared. Now some would answer, oh, it's like x squared plus y squared. That is wrong. To put it simply, the answer to that is to use the FOIL method, which is FOIL. F first, you would check the x and then add the square to it, so it will first come up at a squared, x squared. And then the second is to times the 2 in the parenthesis, so x times y will come up as 2xy. And then just put it as positive because both are positive in the previous statement. And then the last, since both of the statements that I have said before are both outside and inside, so the last is the y. So just copy the exponent like from the x squared, so it will turn out as y squared. So it will be read as x squared plus 2xy and then plus y squared.
F of x equal negative x, 2 plus x. The assigned of value of x is 10. So in order to evaluate, we will replace the x variables into 10. Therefore, we have closed in the parentheses negative 10 squared plus 10. Then square the negative 10, which will give us 100. Then add it to 10, and the answer will be 110. It is related to evaluating function because we are finding the value of f of x. And as can you see in the given problem, we replace x variable into the assigned x of value. So another example is f of x equal to x to negative 3 x plus 1. The assigned of value of x is 2. So kindly replace the x variable into 2, which will give us 2 close in the parentheses, 2 square negative 3 close in the parentheses, 2 plus 1 the square, 2 which will give us 4. Then multiply by 2 is 8. Then 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. So we have 8 negative 6 plus 1. Then 8 negative 6 is 2. Then 2 plus 1 is 3. Therefore, f of 2 is equal to 3. Thank you.